What do you do if you got an elderly parent with access to cash and they're facing the realization that death is inevitable, unfortunately, but I want to make sure that my kids are taken care of? The will that everyone seems to rely on, this blanket thing, is going to handle it for me. It's going to disperse it properly. That may or may not be true, but I'll tell you this much. It's certainly going to be opening up the door to a lot of taxation. That lessens and lessens what is left over to the children. So I'm going to go through an example of a case study right now on how we can structure this more efficiently for both the child who's going to survive the parent and the parent who understands that they are not immortal and they want to leave as much as they can to their kids. So the case that I want to talk about is an actual case. The dad is elderly, okay, great health, but he is getting on. And there are a couple of kids in the family. So dad's in his 70s and there's a couple of kids in their 40s. The dad in the 70s has money that's sitting in a typical GIC at the bank to the tune of $400,000. It's just sitting there earning 3, 4, 5%, whatever it is, all taxable. That money is just sitting there waiting for it to eventually find its way to the family. Now, this dad doesn't need his money to survive. He's doing very well on just his other pension, his other plans. Very frugal lifestyle, totally fine. He doesn't need this money is the point. Then you got this, one of the kids who is single and doesn't have a family and is not really in the higher income. The father really wants to assist the kid, his son, for his future, to give him a pension. So how can we structure this? We spent time considering options and how to make this work for this guy. Is there a way to take this $400,000 and convert that through the power of contracts to a steady, never-ending stream of cash that is like a pension for his son? And the answer is yes. Yes, we can. We got to be careful. We're going to try and use this money. Be careful in how we incorporate it, but we're going to put it into a contractual structure. This is what we do, the money mansion, and it's going to grow uninterrupted. It's going to compound. There's no market risk at play. All this is going to happen tax-free. And then eventually, when this son becomes 65 years old, we've made provisions for this to create a cash flow for the son forever. So instead of withdrawing money from this money mansion, he's going to create a loan, and that loan is going to give him the cash flow he needs. Loans are not taxable. If he received income, that is taxable, which means you need to take out more. But we don't need to do that. So we don't need to figure out how much tax to pay for. We're going to take out a loan. Now, you're thinking, what about the interest rate? I don't want you to go there. It doesn't even matter. In this scenario, we're never going to pay the interest. That's what we're planning for. We're going to take out money for cash flow. Yes, it will be a loan, and yes, there'll be interest, but it's just going to accrue. There's no interest payments made, and it'll go on for a very long time. And we planned to absorb that in the contract. Eventually, the interest will get paid, but it will take a couple of events to happen for that to happen. And it's all being planned for. Point is this: if you are in this demographic where you have elderly parents and you know that they are sitting on cash, doing nothing, it's not growing, and then eventually it might be all taxable, we should have a talk about this to see how we can get the parents the calm and the serenity that comes with knowing that their kids are going to receive the lion's share of the estate, as opposed to being stuck in courts, being taxed, being split, all that stuff. We can structure your life, your parents' life, so that the end goal is achieved. Take care of my kids, make sure they see the benefit of all my hard work over the years. It's a heartstrings moment for me, for sure, to know that we're able to assist in a specific scenario like this, where the dad just wants to know that his kids are going to be okay. That's what any of us really want to know. So yes, it can be accomplished. The sooner the better, for sure. But just know that you have this option that you may not have been aware of if you just got wealthed up.